Assalamu alaikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghairil maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Ameen. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli waj'al li waziran min ahli Haruna akhi ushdud bihi azri washriku fi amri فنسينا ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Dear friends, I hope you can hear me. So we're going to continue inshallah with our discussion on the Quran inshallah. What is the Quran basically? Our guidance inshallah. So what do you think about how the Quran kind of teaches us, inshallah, right? So we studied some verses from section Yusuf of the Quran. And I was thinking to myself, what is the purpose of the Quran really right? To mention many of these different stories as well, and what the different points that the author is making in this beautiful section of the Quran as well, right? And one of the things is that revelation is for something that really we cannot really find from this universe, the answer to our human questions. So that's why the Quran has to come to address me to my human questions. So it's not really, the one thing I have to notice is that, yes, the Quran is addressing me, talking to me, right? So that's how the verses of the Quran need to be studied, inshallah. So I took some notes from our discussion last time, and you can go over it and you can tell me if there's anything you would like to pinpoint and talk about more, we can do that. So I'll start basically, right? So when we study the section use of the Quran, the verses, of course, all these verses were revealed when they were revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, to the first audience when he, over the course of a few years, 23 years or so, right? So it was talking with the aspects or with the things according to their time, right? And although this is, when I read the verses now, I have to see how it is addressing me. So it must address me according to my conditions. That's why the Quran must be seen from the universal perspective according to my time period, right? So that's how it becomes universal. For example, I do not speak Arabic personally, right? I'm trying to learn it as much as I can. And the verses mentions that revelation is in the Arabic language. Now, we discussed that last time. So the owner of the universe, when I say is speaking to me, I must take it as the human language because it's a universal book. So there's some definitions I need to understand. Now, first of all, I have human questions and I need guidance. And if I don't speak Arabic, there must be some answer. So whatever the language, for example, English for me, I need to understand how it answers my human question. So the human language, how we need to interpret the Arabic language as a human language is very important. So something that I understand. And also mentions palm trees and dates. I have to talk. It speaks according to the geographical location of that time, of their time when the first revelation happened. To me, it would be, I don't know, red maple trees, for example, where I'm in my neighborhood is popular, so I can talk to them that way in my location. So that was one point. If anybody wants to add to this point, please do so. You're free to do that. And the second point was the verse that we studied of section Yusuf, which mentioned about the dream, which is translated usually as dream, but we saw that the words, the way it said, was not really the dream that is usually translated, which is like understood by many translators. So we have to be careful a little bit with the translations, right? So it said ta'wil al-hadith, the phrase, which refers to the interpretation of events in the universe. I can also say that I witness the events happening in the universe, reflect on how things are coming into existence in the universe, and interpret them. So that's how I take that message mentioning about this interpretation of events to my life, where I also witness many events and I can understand the meaning behind those events, right? Who is giving them existence? How are they coming into life, into existence? So by doing this, we are investigating the manifested qualities of the creator of the universe to get to know him and then respond back to him. Like whenever I look at something or I have to wonder, how is it coming into existence? How did this event happen? And then all these verses that we kind of discussed in the beginning of the section, Yusuf, like the first few that we touched upon, right? So they all mentioned and concluded with a phrase, right? All those mentioned concluded with the God is all knowing, all wise. So that's a strange kind of ending. Like, okay, I'm telling you a few things, and then I conclude with God is all knowing, all wise. So all the knowledge and wisdom given to other beings is from the one who is all knowing, all wise. So it said the chain of different prophethoods that were wise and knowledgeable, the prophetic line of chain, right? So that telling me that is basically telling me that God is all knowing, all wise. So their wisdom, knowledge comes from the Lord of the universe, who is not all knowledgeable, all wise one. So the concluding phrase summarizes the point to which the Quran wants me to pay attention to. I have to read the previous verse according to the qualities of the Creator being mentioned in the concluding phrase. So read the previous verses. Now that using the concluding phrase that I see that God is all wise and all knowing, knowledgeable one, all knowing. Right. So the principle of the Quran is this principle of the Quran is known as fazlaka. Right. So we need to get used to this way of reading the Quran so that we can get attached to the Quran with love of the Quran, that we just get addicted to the Quran rather than making it a profession or just on occasions that are religious occasions that we do. So we need to really be engaged on a constant daily basis as much as we can, inshallah. So the third point was about the same goes when studying the universe as well. So we study sciences to get degrees without actually getting to the conclusion of who is the source of all this, whatever we are studying, right? And what are we using this education for? Is it really going to last us till eternity or what? Are we going to take this knowledge to the hereafter or whatever we kind of learned? So all the qualities in the universe point to the one who is knowledgeable, wise, powerful, etc., manifesting his qualities in beings. So I must study the universe according to the qualities of the creator. So that's a highlight point. Like if I'm studying the universe, I must study it to see what the quality is, not for the physical material being themselves, but for the qualities which point to the owner of the universe, the Lord of the universe, the creator of the universe. So the usage of kul, that's the final point that we touched upon last time, the usage of kul in kul huwallahu ahad, right? There are a lot of different say this, say that, which means say, translated as say, in the verse is very important to pay attention to. So it means to reflect upon the creation in the universe, first of all, and come to the conclusion of what is being stated. So then I say, yeah, Allahu Ahad, indeed, that's correct. Only a unique being can do whatever I'm witnessing in the universe. So it is not asking me to repeat the conclusion, just like reading the answer key without going through the process on how to get the answer. So that was one of the other points. So any comments on these 5 points that were mentioned here? Anything that needs to be added or paid attention to further? You can either go ahead and talk, basically, mention it, or we can continue. Yes, Brother Ali, please go ahead.
This interpretation of events is an important phrase in the Quran, تأويل الأحاديث. Now, of course, our discussion is not about Arabic grammar, but why it is, how it should be understood. And classical commentaries on the Quran did not see this point. Really, I haven't seen it. First of all, let's talk about a hadith. Now, I have a friend here whose mother tongue is Arabic, so he will say yes or no. A hadith is the word, the plural of haditha. Haditha means something newly occurred. Haditha. Hadith, something newly occurring. A hadith, the things are newly occurring. So there is another word in the Quran, akhbar. Khabar, akhbar. This is about news, program news. For example, أي أخبار awake, for example. What is the news of your parents? How are they doing? Or do you have a good news, bad news about this? It is not a hadith. A hadith is usually used about the events which newly occurred, but not this event that we can keep it open. Just not only the events which there is a war somewhere, or there was an earthquake somewhere, or the weather is changing. No. A hadith, the newly occurred, which means, again, I think if we are, Islamic theology talks about the universe is being hadith. It means it did not exist before, but it exists now. So this theological meaning of hadith, a hadith, something did not exist before, now it existed. Now, the classical scholarship didn't need to go into deep because they understood universe did not exist, it has a beginning. Right? That is very much in your subject. But now we can understand that today, the universe did not exist yesterday. Today exists anew. That is called hadith. Hadith, because ihdath means in religious fiqh, which did not happen in creation, fiqh. In creation, now there is a newly invented things related to religion is called in fiqh or discipline is ihdath. It is men ahdatha. The hadith says, whoever has started something which is not in the Quran and in the Sunnah, which is called bid'ah. This is very interesting. So Islamic root of the usage of these words, ahadith, ihdas, and hadith, the universe is hadith, in classical terms. But we can update them. We can understand that every moment a new creation is taking place which did not exist before. Now, Te'wilul ahadith understood. Now there is a new creation. For example, taking the time space very large, spring is a hadith, one of the hadith events. Yeah. For example, the trees didn't have flower yesterday. They have today a hadith, one of the hadith, plural form because hadith. you can understand this. There is a friend here whose subject is related to this directly. So it's hard to say. What are we going to do? This events is translated as newly creation. It means newly existence of the things. We have to ta'wil it. Ta'wil. Now the word, the origin of the word is awala. The awal before comes from this word. So now awala, to turn something into its origin. Return it back to its origin. I'm saying you speak Arabic, eh? So awwal and ta'wil, turning it back to its origin. Ta'wilul ahadith means not only interpreting the events, newly creation. Now we can understand in 21st century, not only interpreting the events that took place among people, but it means returning the creation of the newly happenings, newly acts are created to its origin. What is the origin? هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن. Its origin is the one who initiated this creator. Return it back to it and say, this is the manifestation of the one who created this new universe today, finding out how, who, or what its origin is should be understood now as ta'wilul ahadith. Interpretation of events means returning back to the creation, to its original or originator.
So this is essentially for us a daily practice of trying to put a pause in that stream of time that we feel, to be able to reference any event that happens, including every second, every moment, as to its true owner or true source.
So it's awal. This is the originator. Source.
Basically, from me, as the events are happening, I'm trying to reference the source of creation at every moment, every slice.
Yeah. So it should have nothing to do with this phrase has nothing to do with dream.
Yeah, of course.
So the dream will come at the end of the section, chapter. So that is something else. For example, every story of the prophet mentioned in the Quran, the way the Quran presents is amazing, unbelievable details are there. Now, Yusuf says in the same section at the end, this is the father came and his brothers came. Yeah, they wanted to kill Yusuf, in fact, out of jealousy. Now, they came back and submitted the authority of Yusuf as the prophet. What is the authority of a prophet? Sword, power, message. What makes a person a prophet is message. If he doesn't have a message, he's not a prophet. However, he may be powerful, materially, militarily, whatever, financially. It's not a prophet. Prophet means message. So they submitted in the scenario, the brothers were against the source of message. They wanted to kill it out of jealousy. Like some materialist people want to kill the message of the Quran, the message of revelation. So they try to do this. But his father knew that this message is true. That is why, although it is very difficult for a father to see his child is better than himself. So the father wants child to listen to him. That is how the social relationship is. But if the child starts advising the father, remember Abraham advises father what to say? Go away. Otherwise, I will kill you. Stone you means they'll kill you. Look, we cannot accept. But this is one extreme example. Father disobeying the child. Now, in Yusuf's example, it is the reverse example. Father admiring the child. Both examples are presented to us. So when they came, they asked their father to sit on the higher position. At the end of the story, remember that. It means the prophet really appreciates, gives and attaches importance, the one who appreciates the prophetic message, although he is his child. Some moderator dropped. So let's wait for him. It's very interesting. We have to learn. Yeah, we are going to wait now for the host. We have to learn.
I'm back. Salaam alaikum.
Now you are back. We have to learn how we should understand the stories of the prophets in the Quran. We should never, ever read it as a story at all. They are real messages, pure messages, nothing to do with story at all. So, although no one knows Yusuf, does anybody know Yusuf? No. So, well, I don't care. What is told there is important. Now, are you sharing the screen? Awesome. Or dropped? I think Asim is not hearing us. So let's wait for him and for the recording as well. Recording is going on. Okay. Yeah.
It's an interesting point.
Now, we should learn how to read the Quran. It is methodologically extremely important. Otherwise, we cannot appreciate the Quran. We just read the Quran as a storybook. It is a big waste. An unforgivable mistake. Okay. Asim, are you back? We have been waiting for you. Are you back, Asim?
Yep, I'm back now. Sorry.
Oh,
All
okay. There is no other way, of course. If there was another way of...
So you were saying we cannot read basically the story like a story, basically, right?
For you, not to drop, can you not use hot point from your telephone?
I just did that, yes.
Thank you. That, inshallah, it will solve the problem.
Yes.
Now, let's continue.
So you were saying we cannot read the story as a story, basically, right?
Sorry?
You were saying we cannot read the story as a story, but it's full of messages.
So let's do an application.
Okay,
Right.
sure. Okay.
Now, they came back. So when the Yusuf said, well, this dream problem must be solved. Yusuf said, when he was a child, I saw the sun and the moon and the 11 stars, 12 stars, whatever, 12 stars, prostrating me It means sun and the moon is the most obvious example of the creation, the universe. Because God created the universe far away so that I don't know what's going on. But example of stars is presented to us in the form of the sun. Example of planets is presented to us in the form of the moon.
Yeah.
So I can see the relationship between the sun, the moon, and the earth, and with the other planets. It's so meaningful, perfectly arranged, so planned and orderly creation. God says the one who created this created the universe, the other galaxies with the same qualities, presenting and teaching us. Just with the sun, the moon is there. So what is secret there in the universe? So for human perspective, sun and the moon is most obvious ayah, evidence for the truthfulness of the message of the messengers. So what I am saying, universe must have an absolute creator. Here is the sun and the moon. Sun and the moon represents acceptance of the universe, creation, and as an evidence for it. So the evidence came together with the rest of the stars, right? The first time you may not know what is doing, and you don't appreciate the value of the creation of the cosmos, because you see sun and the moon. That's important. So we Yusuf's brothers did not appreciate the message interpreting the creation of the universe, wheel of the universe. They didn't appreciate it. They wanted to just throw it away. It means throw him into a into a well. So this is just a symbol. So everybody came, and the message is accepted by his family, human family. It means his people. Yeah. He said, this is the ta'wil of my dream. It means what I told you at the beginning, O my father. So it is not dream interpretation. It is how the theory is proved, demonstrated to be true. Do you understand? This is ta'wilul hadith. That is what we have to expect from the message of the Quran.
When in the verse as it goes that they prostrated to him, the interpretation of that is that they recognize the truthfulness of the message that he initially came with.
The universe witnessed the truthfulness of the message. So the Quran is saying, universe creation prostrates, angels prostrated Adam. Do you remember? The same line.
Yeah.
So angels represent what? And what? Angelic side of the universe. Angelic side, meaningful side. So meaningful side of the universe reflecting the qualities of its creator, right? This is called in the Quran melekut samawati wal ard. It means angel, melek, melekut, angelic side, melek, angel, melekut, angelic side of the universe. The translations say the melekut as power. But powerful of what? Power of what? The controlling the power. But what is the message there? So angelic side, there is no really message. Melekutu semawati wal ard. But God is Melik. Melikus semawati wal ard. So it is not really, this melekut is not really related to Melik side of it. But melekut side refers to the Melik. Do you understand the connection? So we have to understand that Sajda, or God asked angels to serve, to make Sajda before Adam. It means Adam is the representative of first person, first human being. It means my first creation is Adam. Yeah, I am the Adam. God is telling me that universe is ready to prostrate you. What does it mean? To be in your service. So, for example, when you go to Hajj, what do you say? Labbaik, Allahumma labbaik. I came to your service, right? I respond to your invitation in the positive way. They all go together with interconnected with each other. Adam's story had going to Kaaba, and Yusuf's story saying that this is the interpretation of my ru'ya, my dream. It means what I told you at the beginning seemed to be a dream, but God taught me Te'wilul Ahadith. So through this Te'wilul Ahadith, my first time I presented to you as I saw became true, approved, confirmed by the universe. So these connections are to be born into mind so that you will understand that the purpose of the Quran is not really teaching us that dream interpretation is possible. So what? So what? Now, astrology, is the Quran is astrology book? What are you talking about? All right, yeah. What are you talking about? Okay. So what are you talking about? Astrology? What is that? Speculation. Dream interpretation is just speculation. Also, those people who study psychology and uh, brain science, they know that that subconscious memories are there. When you sleep, you lose your free will, so it automatically comes out and you see it. This is the way God creates that, you have something in your material being, storage of your past. Past. So what does it mean? Why is it stored there? We have to ask the question. Why my past life is stored within me? What is the meaning? What is the purpose of it? It means you are going to remember it one day. There will be a day, this is your life story. Your life, everything is video recorded here.
So whatever stays in memory, basically.
Sorry?
Whatever stays in memory, and
Yeah.
what doesn't stay in memory, so that's forgotten, basically.
This is the memory. Memory is a reminder for me that nothing is forgotten. Like DNA. DNA shows that nothing is forgotten, which was created in the past, and what nothing is unknown to the one who creates this animate being, what he is going to create next. DNA is the record of everything and transfers it. It means God is showing that يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُم. You understand? I know what they have in front of them, what they have behind, left behind. It means physical demonstration of the evidence of this news in the Quran. يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُم is witnessed by DNA. Look at it. So we have to try to understand the Quran according to the capacity of this age. So not that according to the capacity of 12th century tafsir interpretation, we don't expect them to know this because it's not known. So it is, if I criticize them, it will be, that is not safe. No, no. So he can play, she can play with this one, not that one. No. So put something on top of them. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. There is an angel here playing with the books. So, okay. I think I am done. That is what how it's an example of how this prophetic stories in the Quran should be read. Thank you.
MashaAllah, thank you. So, interpretation of offense that is newly revealed, basically. Right? That's the way. Ta'wil al-hadith. All right. Okay, we'll start unless somebody else has a comment or wants to state anything. Any questions in terms of the principle we discussed on how the stories of the Quran need to be read? All right, nobody. All right, let's continue then. Fourth point of eloquence. So it sometimes happens that the Quran mentions the divine creatures with a particular arrangement of the sentence. Then through showing that the creatures are within an order and balance, and that they are its fruits. Every phrase and word, letter is arranged perfectly in the sentence, showing that the creatures are also in the universe are within an order and balance, and they are its fruits, affords a sort of transparency and brilliance, which is incredible, actually, if you think about it, how the correlation between the universe and the message of the Quran. So this transparency and brilliance then show the divine names, the manifestations of which is through that mirror-like arrangement. So manifestation happens through the mirror-like arrangement. So on the beings, reflections of the qualities of the one who is giving them existence, right? The mirror-like arrangement. It is as though the above mentioned creatures are words. So the creatures in the universe are like words, and the names, qualities are their meanings, or the seeds, so the seeds of the fruits or their essence. So we said that we'll discuss this a little bit, so I took some notes from last time. So the seeds of the fruits are the fazlaka, objective. I translated that as objective of the tree, right? The tree's objective is for seeds. So the tree is created to give seeds. The tree refers to the verses, and the seeds refers to the concluding phrase for those verses, which is the point to be tied to the previous verses. For example, the concluding phrase mentions the names, qualities of God, which are their meaning. So I have to read the meaning of the verses, basically all the previous ones, according to whatever those names, qualities of God are. We must read the meaning of the verse in the Quran to understand the qualities of God. Similarly, I must read the creation of beings in the universe to understand the qualities of God. So that's what when I read the universe, is to understand the qualities of God, which is not really how we read the universe, right? We just stay there at a surface level and then just move on, but we should try to practice more in terms of reading the universe to understand the qualities of God.
That is Ta'wilul Hadith.
Okay, yeah, Ta'wil al-Hadith.
Ta'wilul Hadith. This
Right,
is
this one.
Ta'wilul Hadith, yeah. Returning the creation to its source of existence. A new creation, because there is no fixed static creation. Look, Aya is here, our lovely friend. and she is growing every day. She's a big girl now, mashallah. Thank you.
MashaAllah, thank you. So for example, man, so this is a verse from the Quran, verses, we did create from quintessence of clay. Then we placed him as a drop of sperm in a place of rest, firmly fixed. Then we made the sperm into a clot of congealed blood. Then of that clot we made a fetus lump. Then we made out of that lump bones and clothed the bones with flesh. Then we developed out of it another creature. So all these different stages of the creation of a being, of especially human beings. So blessed be God, the best of creators. So that's the point, basically, that is meant. Telling me all this different stages is to tell me, so blessed be God, the best of creators. So when I read these verses again, the drop of sperm can only be from the best of creators, right? So his quality of creation, of being the creator of the universe, being the creator of beings, comes into my understanding. So thus the Quran mentions in order those wonderful, strange, amazing, well-ordered and balanced stages of man's creation in such a mirror-like fashion that so blessed be God, the best of creators. So all those in order, the stages different are mentioned, which are amazing if you think about how they are happening. Well-ordered, balanced in the stages of man's creation, just for this purpose. So blessed be God, the best of creators. So that's my conclusion. I say, Allahu Akbar. Appears of itself within them and makes itself exclaimed. A scribe who was writing out this verse uttered the words before coming to them and wondered to himself, has revelation come to me as well? Right? So even if I'm carefully reading the stages, I'm be like, wow, what? Yeah, really, how is that happening from the clay to a drop to a sperm, and then all of a sudden a fetus, and then a different kind of, like, out of the womb, a little different kind of creature all of a sudden? How is that possible? I mean, it should really shock us in a way. Whereas it was the perfection of the order and transparency of the preceding words and their coherence which had showed up the final words before coming to them. And for example, Brother Ali, please go ahead.
So before going to the second example, it is important. Some points attracted my attention. Now, first we understand that the fezleke, it's the last summarizing phrase is used in the Quran as it is here, فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ. It means, as presenter, our host mentioned, we have to read the preceding sections of the ayah according to the core of the message, which is called the seed of the message. So everything comes out of the seed. So if you like, you want to understand how the chemical things are going, go to the DNA. The formula is there, right? So we have to read this, so blessed be God, the best of creator. Now, what we notice here in this verse, first of all, God is mentioned at the end. not at the beginning, at the end. But at the beginning, evidence is presented, how the creation is taking place. But what the word used here, or we placed him. Then we made the sperm into something. Then we made the lump, the fetus into a lump. We. 5 times we is repeated. Now, at the end, said God. Now, what is the significance of it as far as the language of the Quran is concerned? When the Quran uses referring to God, we, the Quran means the, how do you say, greatness of God, absolute power of God, authority of God, we. When it emphasizes on the absoluteness, uniqueness of Creator, the Quran uses either he, or God says, ene, me, I did it. But this we have to be careful when we are reading. If a single form is used, not a plural form, but a single form, is it? Yeah, is used. Singular form. Thank you. Singular form is used. We have to know that uniqueness, absoluteness, oneness of God is emphasized. When when the Quran uses we, it means the authority. Now, we means something like in the example of American administration. President is declaring, announcing something, not that this is my command, but it is the command of the cabinet, parliament. So, representative of the qualities of the creator manifested in the creation, the power, the Ismail Husna, the power, the knowledge, the free will, the choice, absolute choice, all the qualities, wisdom, all the qualities manifested in creation. Quran uses plural form, not singular form. So what it means. Now, let's read the Quran. We placed him in a sperm, in a place of rest, firmly fixed. In Arabic, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ سُلَالَةٍ مِنْ طِينٍ ثُمَّ جَعَلْنَاهُ نُطْفَةً فِي قَرَارٍ مَكِينٍ. You can see the qualities, if you like, ministers, but in human sense, ministers are helpers. But this is the manifestation of the absolute creator. The qualities manifested in all of them, you have to see them and make understand that it is the perfect creation, because at the end he said, the blessed be God, the best of creators. Best of creators doesn't mean there are other. You cannot imagine how perfect his act of creation is. Whatever you imagine, I am better than this, below this, like Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar means not greater than the other gods. No. Whatever you imagine, think of God's greatness, absoluteness, it is beyond. Can you imagine absolute infinite? No. Whatever the number you think, infinite means more than this. That is Allahu Akbar. Got it now, meaning of Allahu Akbar. So, best of creator means this. A perfect creator, it means absolute creator. But before coming to this conclusion, the Quran mentioned and drew our attention to every stage of creation is realized by the one who is the best creator. It means the things are not evolving by themselves. Every stage is taken care of carefully by me, by the creator of the universe. Azama is the creator of the universe. So when the singular form is used, uluhiyya. Uluhiyya. Plural form usually rububiyya. So we have to see the beauty of the consistency in the language of the Quran. So you understand that this is really an amazing way of presenting the reality, and the language also is beyond human capacity. Every word, every detail is taken care of. Nothing is missing. Nothing is contradicting at all. So we have to read the verses like this. I understood that we, it means you see the manifestation of the names, and at the end he said, Tebarakallahu ahsanul khaliqin. This is Allah. When I say Allah, it means the one who owns all these qualities. This is the conclusion. But this conclusion refers that you have to read the previous ones according to this conclusion. It means in order to understand who owns the creator, who owns the universe, who is responsible of the existence of the universe, yeah, Quran says God. Who is God? The one who did stage by stage, perfectly arranged, no confusion, every moment, renewing the existence. There is no other authority, as some people say, God created the universe at the beginning. Now it is continuing by itself. No, every stage is created. We did this. We did in the second stage. We did in the third stage. We did 5 times, drawing our attention that the stages are specifically taken care of. Now, it is beautiful. When we read the Quran in this way, it becomes there. Really, I have to be patient. I have to be careful. Sorry. I have to be careful. Which kind of creation is taking place in the universe? So we have to see that every stage is taken care of. Baby is taken care of. A fetus form taken care of. Sperm form taken care of. Perfectly arranged, mashallah. And all the ages, or the periods of creation is specifically taken care of by the same authority, we. And this is God. When I say God, I should mean what, I should really be aware what I really meant by it when I say I believe in God. Thank you.
MashaAllah. Thank you, Brother Ali. Thank you for sharing what you about the we part. I loved it, like how the qualities of the creator, manifestation of the qualities, I mean, of the creator. Some qualities are doing it, basically, then at the end, blessed be God, the best of creators. Okay. Thinking if we should go for the next example, or should we take it next time? Right. I think it's better if we go slow by slow. We look at the Arabic as well, and inshallah, continue. We shouldn't hurry in terms of studying the verses. We need to be, as we beautifully covered this one. We'll continue the next one, inshallah. I'll stop here. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعوانا على الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سورة الفاتحة.